Hello. On behalf of Matty T, Matt Tucciarelli, Luis Landeros, and myself, Scotty B. let me officially welcome you to the Grading Greatness team and let you know how excited we are to have you on this team. This series of videos is designed to help you get your business started and up and running as fast as possible so that you can have whatever level of success that you choose that you want to have within your business with Gano Life. We're truly excited to have you on the team, and I'm going to share a few things on this very first video that literally will encapsulate every single thing that you need to do to be successful at the highest level within this business. First thing I want to share with you is that this is a simple, easy, and fun business. We've got a business plan called the Coffee and Cash Plan. For those of you in Spanish, Café y Dinero. Simple, easy, fun. There's 3 simple steps. 1 is you drink the coffee. Number 2 is you share the coffee. And number 3 is you teach others to do the same, to drink and share the coffee. That is our business plan. And if you've got industry experience, one of the things you're going to have to do is throw out a lot of the things that you've learned in the past. Because we've tried to use a lot of the traditional methods within this business, and what we found is that they hinder your growth. They slow down the process. And everything that we've designed in this plan has been designed to go as fast as you possibly can and maximize the effectiveness of the time that you do put in, create the greatest efficiencies, and more importantly, create the greatest ability to duplicate. Now, this very first video is just going to be the essence of the overall plan. But literally, if you just did what I shared with you in this first part of the video, you would never have to learn anything else. There will be some additional videos that support what I shared during this first video, but they aren't near as necessary as this very first part of the video. Matter of fact, this very first video that you're watching right here is the one that is the absolute most important, because it's going to be the simplest of every one that I talk about, and it truly is the key. The reason that our team has grown faster than any team in the history of this company is really very simple. And I'm talking about on a global perspective, into more countries, more people, faster than any other team in this company. It's very simple. It is because the way that we have figured out how to do this business transcends different cultures. It transcends languages. It transcends socioeconomic systems. It transcends different levels of education. It transcends political lines. I mean, there's nothing that stands in the way of this being something that transfers from one to the next to the next to the next. So whether it's a construction worker who works super hard all day in horrendous conditions, from freezing weather to blazing hot summers, who then shares the business with say a senior vice president of a company, who then in turn shares it with a housewife who has probably one of the hardest jobs in the world, raising children and taking care of a home, but's never really had business experience, who then in turn turns around and shares it with a friend who's an attorney. And that attorney then shares it with his or her son, who is a college student at a university. So you see what I'm talking about is, it doesn't matter who somebody is, where they're from, what their background is or not, if they will follow this plan, they will have the most success the fastest. And it's kind of interesting because you could literally teach a 6-year-old kid how to effectively do this business with this plan. So let's jump in real quick and talk about this. Everything in this business starts when you approach a brand new person. You approach a brand new person for this business. We have something called the 4-step success system that you'll hear about a little bit later: approach, expose, validate, and enroll. And that's the process we use of how we approach somebody, what we share with them, how we answer their questions, and finally enroll them as a customer or as an affiliate in the business. The Coffee and Cash Plan, with the 3 simple steps of drink the coffee, share the coffee, teach others to do the same, is our core plan. And I want to dive into this really quick. So here's where it goes. Drink the coffee. What does that mean? It's pretty simple. That means that you drink the coffee. That means that you're a product of the product. Now, my personal suggestion, it's just my belief in this industry, is that you should try every single product that we have. Try every single one of the products, and you determine which ones you like the best, which ones you like. If there's some you don't like, don't use them. But just because you don't like it doesn't mean somebody else may not like it. So what I suggest to everybody is everybody try all the products that we have, and then it's your decision. Which ones do you want to use on a day-to-day basis? Some you may use every few days. Some you may use a couple times a month. But use as many products as you possibly can, but only use the ones that you truly like. So that's drink the coffee. Of course, coffee is kind of the mainstay of everything that we do. We're more, again, a dermalucidum company than anything, but coffee is that, it's that knocking door product. When you contact somebody and say, hey, I've started a new coffee business, I'd love to share my coffee with you. Let's get together and have a cup of coffee. Who says no to a cup of coffee, right? Friends, family, neighbors, people you work with. And nobody says no to a cup of coffee. Look at coffee shops all around the world. They're filled with people from the time they open to the time they close, 7 days a week. So drink the coffee is simple. That just means be a product of the product. So use the products that you like. If there's one you don't like, if there's a couple you don't like, you don't feel forced to use them. You don't have to. Use the ones that you like. So enough said about drink the coffee, step number 1. Step number 2, share the coffee. What does that mean? Exactly what it says. You share a cup of coffee with somebody and you let them see the presentation. Now let's talk about this real quick. You know, in some countries, the United States, Japan, Germany, some of the more advanced countries that have network marketing, it seems like there's a company starting every single day, literally. In some other countries, you don't see as many new companies that are getting started, but either way, network marketing is growing. It's flourishing as an industry. It's in the momentum window of that 4-quadrant graph as an industry itself. So, many people are being contacted by many more people about many more opportunities. And guess what 99% of them are saying when they call? They're calling their friend, their family member, their neighbor, their business associate, somebody from church, and you know what they're saying? They're saying, hey, are you keeping your business options open? Are you looking for a way to make more money? Do you need to make more money? Have you ever considered diversifying? Do you currently diversify and generate multiple income streams? All the traditional things that people say about network marketing when they're approaching people to then expose them to their product and their business opportunity. So guess what we learned works the absolute best? And again, if your vision is to build a global business, which is a marketplace of 8 billion people versus just your country or your region of the world, then here's what we found works best. If I'm contacting you and you're somebody that I know, which is where we all start with people that we know, here's what I do. I call you up. Doesn't matter who you are. I say, hey, this is Scott. How you doing? You got a minute? Yeah? Listen, I'm really excited about something. What's that, Scott? Well, I just recently started a coffee business. Really? You started a coffee business? How'd you do that? Is it a cafe? What is it? What kind of coffee? Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'd love to get together with you and try and share a cup of coffee and let you try my coffee. Well, did you open a cafe? Hey, I'll tell you everything. Let's get together. Let's share a cup of coffee. I know you're going to love it. It's premium gourmet coffee, and I'll show you everything when we get together. Okay, and then you just schedule the appointment. So you merely call somebody and tell them you're excited because you just started a brand new coffee business, and you want to get together with them. You want to share a cup of coffee. You want to let them try your coffee. They're going to ask you questions. Of course they are. There's somebody who knows you, somebody who probably cares about you a lot, and maybe somebody who loves you very much. So they're going to want to know what you're doing. And that's where you simply segue and say, listen, I'll tell you everything when we get together. Let's get together and spend 20, 30 minutes. Let's share a cup of coffee. I'm so excited for you to try my coffee. You're going to love it. It's premium gourmet coffee. You're absolutely going to love it. So the thing you got to think about is when you're approaching somebody, what is your goal? And your goal is to get an appointment. It's not to tell them anything at all other than to get an appointment. The only thing you tell them is that you started a coffee business, which is always going to bring a question. And then when they ask you that question, no matter what they say, you know, maybe you're right now not in a great financial position. They say, how'd you start a coffee business? Say, I know, kind of laugh and agree. Yeah, I know. You would never think, would you? Let's get together and have a cup of coffee. I'll tell you all about it when we get together. Keep it very conversational. Keep it upbeat. Have a good level of enthusiasm and excitement, but not over the top, not crazy ranting and raving. But just let them know that you're excited because you started a new coffee business and you want to share a cup of coffee with them. And no matter what they say, you push for that appointment. You don't get into any details. Now, here's a couple things I want to share with you. Number one, don't say a word about Ganoderma lucida. Don't say a word about a mushroom. Don't use the word healthy coffee or enriched coffee. Nothing. It's just coffee. If there's anything you say, it's premium gourmet, and that is it. Nothing else. You don't mention business. You don't mention nothing. Your goal is to get the appointment. Now, the worst thing that could happen is they say, you know what, I don't really like coffee. Say, that's okay. I've got other beverages too. I've got tea. I've got hot chocolate. Do you like chocolate? Do you like tea? And with this, you're going to get 99.9% of all the people. So that's what you do. And that's how you share the coffee on the front end through the approach. Then what do? You go meet with them. And when you go meet with them, guess what you do? You mix up a cup of coffee. Hopefully you bought one of the bigger packages. You have the full assortment so you can offer them what perhaps is maybe their favorite type of coffee. The cappuccino with the caramello, with the vanilla, with the hazelnut. Maybe they like the mocha with the chocolate. Maybe they like a latte with cream and sugar. And maybe they drink their coffee black. So if you have all those products, you have a better chance of having specifically what they like themselves, which puts you in the best position to have them really enjoy the cup of coffee that they would prefer to have. So that's why it's one of the reasons it's so important to get one of the packages so you have the full assortment of coffee. And then when you sit down, what do? You press play on the video. You go to GanoLifeSupport.com and you let them see the opportunity video. It takes 15 or 20 minutes, that's it. At the end, you simply say, hey, are you a 1, 2, or a 3? You saw right there in the video, it asked them, are they a 1, 2, or 3? Do they want to be a consumer, or do they want to be in the business and be an affiliate and start making money in the coffee business with you? That's the question. Now, many people will tell you, hey, I'm a 1, I'm a 2, I'm a 3, I'm none, I don't want to do either. Whatever they say is okay. Whatever they say is what we do. Now, they could say, I have some questions. So what do? Well, we go to step 3 in that 4-step success system we talked about, validate. That's where we call somebody on the phone in our upline and say, hey, I've got my good friend here, I've got my neighbor here, I've got my brother here, I've got my mom, my father here. They got a couple questions. Mom, Dad, this is my business partner. This is my business partner. They're the ones that helped me get started in the business, and they can answer those questions for you. Now, before I went to share the coffee with my mom and dad or my best friend or my neighbor, I called ahead of time and made sure I had somebody lined up to help me with the calls in case the calls came to answer any questions. In many cases, I may even actually have them come with me so they can be right there with me, and we do a 2-on-1 where we meet with them together. But regardless of whether you take off and do it right on your own, always try to have somebody as a backup just in case there's questions. That way you can get the questions answered. You can go ahead and enroll them right there on the spot. So that's how you share the coffee. Now, you may say, well, Scott, what if I don't have internet connection? Guess what? We have the presentation in a booklet, and you can literally just go right through from start to finish, and you can just read right through the presentation. So doing it on the internet is the best way. Soon it'll be on DVD as well, where you can download it, have it on DVD. That's the best way to do it because the video does all the work. But if you had to, literally, you could walk them right through this and just read it from start to finish. That's all you have to do. And people do it all the time. It's effective. It works. And then the third step, step 3, is teach others to do the same. For the people that say they're a 2 or a 3, which means they want to start in the business, guess what we do? We give them a copy of the Coffee and Cash Plan, and we teach them the 3 simple steps. Drink the coffee, share the coffee, teach others to do the same. And so we help them. We help them write at their list. We help them start contacting their most closest contacts to them. And they say, hey, I've just started a coffee business. I'm excited about it. I'd love to get together and share a cup of coffee with you. You're going to love it. It's delicious. It's premium gourmet coffee. What do you mean? Coffee? How do you, what? Hey, I'll tell you everything. When we get together, I'll tell you everything about it. I'm so excited about it. I'm really excited for you to taste a cup of the coffee. You sit down with them, mix a cup of coffee, you drink one with them, press play, watch the video at the end, or you're 1, 2, or 3. You're a 3, great, X-Pack, which one? The 1, 2, or 3. You want the 2? Great, let's enroll you. Now, teach them how to do the same. Make their list, start contacting the people. Hey, I've started a brand new coffee business. I'm excited about it. You, coffee business, how'd you do that? Yeah, hey, I'll tell you everything. I want to get together with you and share a cup of coffee. You're going to love my coffee. It tastes great. I'll tell you everything then. Schedule an appointment, meet with them, mix a cup of coffee, share one with them, press play, watch the video at the end, or you're 1, 2, or 3. If they're 1, great, we'll enroll you as a customer. Hey, by any chance, you know anybody else you think might like to try this product? And boom, you schedule the appointment off of a referral. Or if they say a 2 or 3, guess what you do? Perfect. You enroll them, get them set up, and then you help them make their list, teach them how to contact people just like you contacted them. Hey, I started a brand new coffee business. I'm excited about it. I'd love to get together and share a cup of coffee with you. Coffee business, you don't have any money. You lost your job 6 months ago. How'd you start a coffee business? Hey, I'll tell you everything when we get together. Let's get together and have a cup of coffee. 20, 30 minutes. You're going to be so excited to see what I have. I know you're going to love my coffee. You get together with them, mix a cup of coffee, share the coffee, press play, watch the video at the end, or you're 1, 2, or 3. 2 or 3, guess what? Enroll them the way they want to be enrolled, and then help them make a list, teach them how to contact people, and say they started a brand new coffee business. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I'll say the same thing over and over and over. The reason it's simple is only 3 steps. Drink the coffee, share the coffee, teach others to do the same. The reason it's easy, anybody can mix a cup of coffee and press play on a video and say, are you a 1, 2, or 3 at the end of that? Fun? I can tell you, I've done a lot of things in my life, probably like you have as well. But there's nothing that compares to drinking coffee with people all day long and getting paid to do it. It truly is fun. So that is the essence of the Coffee and Cash Plan. You're technically now trained. I know it may be hard to believe. You really don't need to know anything else, but we're going to give you some additional training for those of you that want to dive in. And some people just crave more depth. But you could literally take just what I said right here and go build a dynasty all around the world. I can drop you in any place in the world that we do business, even if you didn't speak the language, and you could figure a way to find out if somebody likes coffee, get them to try your coffee, watch a little video in any language, and at the end say, are you 1, 2, or 3, or uno, dos, tres. It really is that simple. So once again, welcome to the Creating Greatness team. We're going to be sharing a lot more with you about what our team is all about all around the world, but the main thing is getting you off to a fast start. So thanks for joining the team. Look forward to meeting you very, very soon and to helping you build a business all around the world so that literally 24 hours a day, somebody's waking up in the morning drinking coffee and you're getting paid, even if it's the middle of the night and you're sleeping, which, by the way, a great way to get paid is while you're sleeping. Look forward to meeting you. Have a great day. Hey, Hey there, Scotty B back with you here, and we're diving into the Coffee and Cash plan. This is the second video inside the Coffee and Cash video series. It's going to help you get your business started. Now hopefully you got the essence of what we're talking about. Coffee and cash, simple, easy, fun. Drink the coffee, share the coffee, teach others to do the same. I mean, it really is the simplest plan I've ever seen. I can't say there's not one more simple, but I think you'd be hard-pressed to find it. And then when you add to the fact that, hey, look at this, it's coffee. I'm actually drinking one of our caramel cappuccinos right now. Amazing, this product tastes so good. I mean, all you have to do is really share the coffee. And all you have to do is get the appointment to share the coffee, and that's the key. And then the coffee, it does the rest for us. However, I gotta ask you a few questions because I need to find out what you're up to in life. You know, what do you want out of this business? Where would you like this business to go for you? And this is important because the best way me or any of the leaders on this team can serve you is to find out what it is that you want most from this business. See, it's not about what we want out of the business. We're accomplishing our own goals by identifying the people. We sift, we sort, we identify, and we develop the people to reach our goals. You'll do the same thing for your people as well. But here's the thing I want to do. I want to take you through the sections called your why. And you can stop and start this video. So as I go through a few of these questions, if you need to, just stop it and write down the answers. And I hope you write it down, please. Matter of fact, if you don't have a pad of paper and a pen, get one now. Hopefully you've been doing that all through these videos so that you're taking notes and you're on top of your business. If not, just grab one, stop this, and then come right back. So, hey, if you don't have one, are you doing it? If you're still watching me, haven't stopped it, you need to get one. You're going to find out I have a lot of fun in this business, but I'm very, very serious about your success. So are my partners and all of our entire leadership team from all around the world. Now, here's the first thing. You probably have this right in front of you, but I got to ask you a few questions. I've got to ask you a few questions, and these are really, really important questions. It's going to help me understand what you truly want to have happen as an outcome for you and your family. First thing is, within this business, within your Gano Life business and be a part of the Creating Greatness team, do you want to build your business slow or fast? And that's an important question. It may sound like a very simple question, but it truly is important. Do you want to build it slow or fast? Second question, do you want to make a little money or do you want to make a lot of money? And then the third question is, are you going to be teachable? Will you be coachable? Can you be a student again? I know that sounds so simple, but really it's one of the biggest obstacles that people have. They come into this business having worked in other networks or having other type of careers, and they come in and the first thing they want to do, it's kind of human nature. The first thing they want to do is they want to put their expertise from something else into what we're doing right here. And as you'll see in the three principles of this business, the three principles of success, what you'll see is there's no place for that. Matter of fact, anytime somebody does that, it slows down the process. So if you say you want to make a lot of money and you want to make it fast and you are willing to be a student again, then we're in harmony. If not, I wish you the very best of success, and I hope that everything works out great for you, and I hope your business succeeds. But I can tell you right from the very beginning that people that use a different system, we do everything we can to support them, and we wish them the very best, but we don't work directly with them within our system, because you see at all of our meetings, all of our trainings, everything we do, everybody follows the Coffee and Cash plan to a T, which is one of the reasons we built some of the biggest global networks the fastest in the history of this industry, period. Because it works. Now, I got to ask you why you want to do this business. And I want you to think about this. This is one you definitely want to turn the video off on and think about it for a while. But before you do, I want you to think deep inside. I don't want you to say, hey, I want a new car or I want a new home. I want you to think really deep. And matter of fact, the deeper you can get, the better your chance for success is going to be. Do you feel like you're on this planet for something? Do you feel like you're alive for something? Do you believe that you're called for something, for creating greatness? Is there something you feel you're being called to do? Some people call it your purpose, call it whatever you want. But do you feel that? Are you in connection with that? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. And if you're not, it's okay. Not everybody clearly identifies that early on in life. Matter of fact, some people never do in their entire life. But I hope you dig down inside and you can find something that emotionally connects with you, that you say, you know, this is why I'm here. This is what it is that I'm supposed to do while I'm here on the planet. I know for me personally, I absolutely know. Mine is to create greatness in as many people's lives all around the world as possible. And that greatness comes from helping the people improve their health, the majority, number one. And second to that, but it goes conjunction with it, is helping some of those people to improve their wealth, of which some of them will just drastically improve their wealth, and a very, very select few will create generations of wealth for their family. So why are you doing this business? Write that down. It's very, very important. Second question is, got to ask you about how many hours per week you can put into this business. about how many hours per week you want to put into this business. And I want you to think throughout the entire course of the year. I want you to think how many hours you could put into this business on average. Now, when people first start, they get really excited. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about on average. Think about your current job or jobs if you have more than one. What type of commitments you have to your family. Are you involved with your church? Do you have a physical fitness exercise program? Think about all the different things that are going on and think about how many hours you could commit to this business on average for the next year. Now, here's one thing I'll tell you. If you're watching a lot of TV shows but you're saying, hey, I want to make a lot of money, I want to make it fast, something has to give. Because the only way to create a lot of income rapidly is to put a lot of time. So there's a direct relationship with the amount of time that you could put into this business every single week, week after week after week after week, month after month after month for the next 12 to 24 months. There's a direct relation with how quickly you can grow your income based on how much time you could put in. So you really need to look and say, where can I trim the fat? What is the things that take place throughout my week that are unnecessary? If you're working out for an hour and a half, for the next year, can you make it 45 minutes but increase the intensity, increase the focus? It's your decision. I'm not telling you what you have to do. I'm just giving you a couple pointers, some things to think about. And write down about how many hours on average you truly feel you could commit to this business. It's a very, very important question to have. The next thing I got to ask you is how much you would like to be earning at the end of 12 months on a monthly basis. Think about this. You're working for the next 12 months doing this business. At the end of the year, how much would you like to be earning? And write that number down, hopefully in your coffee and cash plan. Now, if you're making this much money, let's fast forward here. Let's think about 1 year from now. Let's kind of envision ourselves there. And you're making X amount of dollars, whatever you put down as your number. What would you do with that money? How would that impact your life? What would change? You might be saving it all. You might be paying off bills. Maybe you're buying something. But what would you be doing with that money? This is money coming in every single month. What would you be doing? How would that change your life? Think about that for a second. I hope you stop this and write this down after each of these questions. Now, second to last question. This is the dream question, and this is important. If money were no object, what would your life be like? What kind of home would you live in, or homes? Where would they be? What would they look like? What would they smell like? What would they feel like? How many would you have? What kind of car, boat, plane, or cars, boats, planes would you have? Would you drive? Would you pilot? Would you fly? What are some of the other things you would have in your life? I'm talking about things for you. And I understand everybody's going to do charity and a lot of I'm talking about you right now. Things that you want, desires that you have. As kids, we all grow up wanting things. There's nothing wrong with wanting things, as long as you keep it in perspective and balance it with other things that you do. But truly take some time and write this down. It's kind of like your wish list, you know? If you want to have a Lamborghini and a Ferrari and a Rolls Royce and a Bentley, you know what? Put it down. We're not talking about what other people think or feel. We're talking about what you want. Now, I'm also going to say on this list as well, though, what are some of the things you would like to do to help others? Both time and money. Think about that as well. If money were no object, if you could do anything you want, write this down. See, as we get older, we just kind of get conditioned. We kind of get conditioned, but when we're kids, we have the most fantastic imaginations around. Talk to little kids, just ask them questions. It'll blow you away, the answers they give you. I remember when I was a kid, my imagination of what I wanted to have in life was unbelievable. And I'm sure you were no different than me as well. So fill this out and write that down. Now, final thing is this. I want you to take those hours that you put, and if you put 10 hours, for example, I want you to multiply it by $100 and write that number down, and then multiply it by $200 and write that number down. So, for example, if you did 10 hours by 100, that's $1,000. If you did 10 hours by 200, that's $2,000. That is a range. That is a range from what we have seen over time is that if you follow our coffee and cash plan and you do it consistently for those 10 hours per week, now maybe your number's a little bit different, I'm just giving you an example. But if there were 10, if you work 10 hours per week in this business, drinking and sharing the coffee and teaching others to do the same, and you do that week after week after week for the next year, at the end of the year, you can reasonably expect to be earning between $1,000 to $2,000 per month every single month. If you put down 15 hours, it's between $1,500 and $3,000. If you put down 20 hours, it's between $2,000 and $4,000 per month. Now let me ask you a question. If you work for the next year for 10 hours, 15, 20, whatever your hours were, and that range comes out for you, would you feel that's a fair return for the time and effort you put in? And I can't tell you whether you feel that way or not. You have to answer that question for yourself. But what you have to look at is you have to look at, number one, the quality of the income. That's a residual income. That's leveraged income, other people out there working, not just you. So you're earning income off of other people's efforts, and you're earning income off of a lot of people drinking coffee every single day, whether you're doing anything or not. So when you look at the quality of income, you look at the amount of income, you have to say, for the hours I've been putting in, do I feel that's a good return? And if not, this may not be the business for you. You may want to find something else. But I will suggest this. If you know anything that somebody can do other than network marketing, where for 10 to 20 hours a week, 1 year from now, they could be earning $1,000 to $2,000 a month extra, please message me privately and let me know. And it's residual and it's leverage. I would love to diversify myself if there's a great option out there as well. So bottom line is this: I've taken you through your why. I've taken you through all the questions, and you answered the questions yourself. Hopefully you were honest with yourself, because you don't have to be anything to me. I'm just taking you through it. I'm kind of like guiding you. I'm leading you through it. You have to answer for yourself. And if you like the answers to all these, then now it's time to dive into this coffee and cash plan really, really deep and take massive action and achieve the goals that you want to achieve. That's absolutely the number one focus. It's the number one thing that we're concerned with, is you achieving and succeeding and doing the things that you want to do. We're going to make sure we're doing it ourselves, because we go through this plan every single day ourselves. We're going to make sure we do it. We want to make sure you do it as well. So I'll be back to you soon. Thanks for your time. Hey there, Scotty B back with you here, a little bit more on the coffee and cash plan. And this is going to specifically focus on point number 2 of the 3 steps inside the drink the coffee, share the coffee, teach others to do the same. Drink the coffee, we all know what that is. Like we talked earlier, just use the products that you like. Teach others to do the same means teach them these 3 simple duplicatable steps. Drink the coffee, share the coffee, teach others to do the same. Now, for those of you that answer the question and you said, I want to build my business fast, I want to make a lot of money, and I am coachable, I'm teachable, I'm willing to be a student again. Here's what I want to do. I want to show you a couple key points on step number 2, share the coffee, that can help you to accelerate the pace tremendously. We've got 5 key steps inside Share the Coffee. The first one is make a list. Make a list of everybody you know. Don't discount anybody. Don't think, well, this person will be a customer, this person will be an affiliate. Don't prejudge at all. If you know them, put them on this list. If you haven't talked to them in a long time, that's okay. Put them on the list. You can reestablish the relationship. I want you to think about everybody. Obviously, you start with all your family. Even if you talk to them about other companies, I don't care. When you sit down and let somebody drink a cup of this coffee, you'll be amazed at the response you get. I want you to think about everybody you've had as a friend from the youngest age you can remember. When you were playing in the neighborhood, before you even went to school, maybe before nursery school or kindergarten or first grade or whatever you attended, who was the very first friend that you had, or friends in your neighborhood? And then over time, who were your friends? What about first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, and on up, all the way through elementary, junior high, high school? Did you attend a university, a trade school, a college? Who were your friends there? Were you involved in any organizations? Did you play any sports? Did you work any jobs? You know, who did you know? Who's some of your extended family that maybe you haven't seen in a while? Maybe you like to reconnect with. Did you work jobs after school? Who did you know where you worked? I want you to think of anybody and everybody that you know and make a list, and don't filter. Now here's the thing. Clinical psychiatrists have proven that the average person in the industrialized world knows 200 people who also know them. So if you were to call them, they would know who you are. Between all the things you've done, neighborhoods you've lived in, churches you've attended, places you work, schools you've gone to, organizations you've been a part of, people you do business with, you know, maybe there's a banker, maybe there's somebody you get your dry cleaning done, managers, owners of restaurants where you eat, whatever it is, on average 200 people. Now think about this. If you enroll 5 people into the business, so here you are, you enroll 5 people into the business, if they know on average 200 people, now you have 1,000 brand new potential contacts that by working with your people to share the coffee, you have access to. 1,000 brand new people. This is how I built teams all around the world. My partner Matty T and Luis, that's how they've built teams. And then together, it's how we've built our teams. By working through people we know or people we meet, which I'll talk about in a minute, and then through their circle of influence, getting into new people who join in their circle of influence. So imagine if you have those 5 and you help them each get 5, that's 25. Well, 25 that know 200 people, guess what? What is that? 25 that know 200 people, that's 5,000 brand new potential contacts that you have access to by helping supporting your organization. And if you help your 25 each get 5, what is that? Well, 5 that have 200 is 1,000. 5 that have 200 is 1,000. 25 that have 200 is 5,000. And if each of those 5 get 5, that's 125. So 125 that know 200, what is that? Was that, I don't know, is that 25,000? 25,000? I'm not the greatest math expert, but I think it's 25,000 more people. I think you get the point. Is as you continue to grow and expand your team, you're going to have access to more people. I look at every person as 200, 200, 200, 200. Not that I'm looking at them as a number, but what I'm looking at them as is a person who has 200 very, very good contacts that we can help them to approach and to then expose them to the coffee and to the opportunity, and then help them sign up 5, 10, 15, 20 people out of that. So when you look at it that way, nobody should ever run out of prospects. Never should run out of prospects. Everybody knows somebody. You just have to be willing to pick up the phone. The worst thing they could say is no thank you. Or maybe they could say something worse, but let's not think about that. Anyways, what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose and you have everything to gain, which is your financial future, your financial independence. So approach everybody that you know, number one. So make that list. Now number two, send out a new business announcement. You can get this out of the Coffee and Cash Plan. This is something nobody in network marketing does, and I don't know why. Because if you and I were opening a restaurant, if we're opening a new law firm, maybe we just graduated law school, we just got our real estate license and we want to open a real estate office, or we open an insurance agency, or we open a clothing store, it doesn't matter, any kind of business. Business 101 is that you tell everybody you know you've started a new business. You let them know so that hopefully they'll come in and try your product or your service and potentially become a customer. And then if they like it, which is up to us to make sure they get a good experience, then have them refer it to other people they know, and word of mouth advertising is always the most powerful. But here's what happens when somebody starts a network marketing business. All the way back to 1959 when they started an Amway business. They make a list and they start calling people. It's what we call the approach. They start calling people and saying, hey, are you open to diversifying your income? Are you open to evaluating a business? You know, if the timing were right, or if the timing were right and the money would, I mean, there's all these different sayings that people have, right? But it's all centered around money. But this is normally what happens. So here's what we did. My partner Maddie T and Luis and I were working on our Coffee and Cash Plan, and one night Maddie T and I were actually in Orlando, and we're sitting up real late at night. I said, Maddie T, I said, people join our business, but you know, they many times they don't really tell all the people they know. But if they were opening any other kind of business, the first thing they would do is tell everybody they know, because they want to generate as much business as they can as quickly as possible to hopefully have success and try to recover all their investment and become profitable as soon as they can, and then maybe make some money for themselves. So I said, what if we have people start sending a new business announcement? What if we have them email it out, send it out through social media? They can even, if they want, they can type it up and print it out and put it in the physical mail. But what if we have them just do an announcement? Now here's the key. The intention is not to sell them anything, not to recruit them. You're not sending links to websites. You're not doing anything. The only thing that you're doing is you're announcing a new business. So you can read it in the Coffee and Cash Plan, but it basically goes something like this. I, or we, if it's a couple, have just started a brand new business, a brand new coffee business, a premium gourmet coffee business. We're excited about it. We just wanted to let you know that we started the business, and we look forward to getting together with you sometime in the future and let you try our coffee. Hope this message finds you well. Thanks. Have a great day. That's it. It's merely just an announcement, announcing a new business. Now here's the interesting thing that we found, is when people do this, guess what happens? Instantly, you start attracting people to you. People are calling you. I mean, if you have people that you love and care about, and they love and care about you, guess what? If you got a message from somebody, a friend saying, we started a new restaurant, we're opening a clothing store, we're opening some kind of new business, you're probably going to call them and say, well, congratulations. Tell me about it. What's going on? Why did you decide to do this? When did you decide to do this? When do you open? Where are you located? You know, this is what most people tend to do with people they know and care about. So if you send this out, and you can send it out in more ways than one, matter of fact, you'll get better response. I would recommend at least email, Facebook, if you have LinkedIn, other social media. You can even print them off and send them out in the regular mail if you want to be more formal, but get it out as quick as you can. That's the important thing. Right away, do it right now. In your first 24 to 40 hours, get this out right away. And you're going to attract people back to you. I was doing a training in Lima, and I was training on this, and there was a room with, I don't know, about 60 or 70 people. About 2/3 of the way back on the left, there was a young guy sitting there. And he had his laptop up, he had internet connection, and when I was training on this, at the end of the training, which was just about 45 minutes later, he came up to me. He said, Scott, look at this. He said, when you trained on that, and I had interpretation, he said, when you trained on that, he said, I instantly went into my Facebook page. He said, I got all my closest family and friends and people that I know really well. He said, I sent this out to a bunch of them. He said, I've already got 26 responses. 26 people asking something of him saying, tell me about your coffee. How did you open a coffee business? What kind of coffee business? Tell me something about it. I want to know more about it. Call me, message me. 26 people. He was just getting started. He hadn't even made his first call to approach somebody about his new multi-level marketing business, which is where everybody starts in multi-level marketing. He already had 26 people that knew he started a business that wanted to know something about it. Now look at your organization that you build as you start to enroll people, help them enroll people, help them enroll people. Some people have a lot of confidence, certainty, belief in themselves. Some people have none. They're excited, but they're really scared. They're afraid to pick up that phone and start calling. So imagine if everybody on your team sent out 20 or 40 or 50 or 80 or 100 of these things. And imagine if every one of them had 5 or 10 people, even 2 to 5 people calling them, messaging them back saying, please tell me about your coffee business. What kind of coffee business? What are you doing? When? Where? How? Imagine how good they're going to feel to know that they've got people asking them to please contact me and tell me about your new coffee business. I don't know why somebody didn't think of this years ago. To me, it's a missing link. Everybody talks about attraction marketing. Well, guess what? This is attraction marketing. Here's the second thing that happens. The second thing that happens is when you call people, some of them saw the message and they wanted to call you. Then all of a sudden the phone rang, or all of a sudden the kids come running downstairs, or something happened and they forgot to call you. So as soon as you contact them, just like you would with any other multi-level marketing company, guess what happens? They kind of feel a little bad that they didn't call you. Hey, Scott, Scott, hey, I got your message. I'm so sorry. I meant to call you and I just got busy. I got tied up, whatever was going on. Tell me about your coffee business. Tell me about that. What's going on? So even before I get to say anything, it's already a warm call. It's already a warm call. And so now I'm telling them about my coffee business. And that's an exciting thing. So those are the first 2 things that happen. The third thing and the worst thing is that you contact them. And when you contact them, guess what happens? They haven't read the message and they didn't even know that you sent a message to them. So it's okay. That's where you're going to start anyways, right? So you do these new business announcements, you'll totally change the complexion of your business. It's pretty amazing when you see what happens. Now, step number 3, schedule 2 private in-home coffee breaks in the first 2 weeks. This is critical because when you start contacting people off that list and you approach them and say, hey, I've started a coffee business, I'm excited about it, love to get together with you and try a cup of coffee. Coffee business, what do you mean? How did you do that? You don't have any money? What's going on? Yeah, listen, I'm having some family and friends over this coming Thursday night and then again next Tuesday night. Are either one of those 2 good for you? I'd love to have you come over with some family and friends and try my new coffee. Yeah, I can make that. I can make Tuesday. Great. I'll put you down. That's awesome. I'll reserve a spot because I've only got so much of my coffee right here with me. I want to make sure I have some for you, so I can count on you being there. Yeah, excellent. I'll see you next Tuesday night at 7:30. You get all the details. If they say no, well, guess what? Say, hey, no problem. Let's look at your schedule. Let's look at yours and mine, and let's get a time where we can get together. I really want you to try my coffee. You're going to love it, and I'll tell you all about my new coffee business when we get together. And then you schedule an appointment to do one-on-one or 2-on-1 with one of the leaders or the sponsor who brought you into the business. And that can be done in person, or remember, they can be available over the phone or over Skype through the internet. So having those 2 coffee breaks, here's what happens. It takes the same amount of time to meet with one person as it does to meet with 5 people or 10 people or 20 people. Many times I've done coffee breaks with 15 to 20 people, sometimes even 30 or 40. 3 times I had coffee breaks in people's homes that had over 100 people. One of them had 121 people in one in-home. That's how powerful these things can be. But the key is it helps you to accelerate the numbers. It helps you to collapse the time frames of bringing more people into your business more quickly, which accelerates the growth of your business. Now imagine your team. Imagine all the people joining your team, and imagine they make the list of their top 200 people. They start contacting people. They send out the new business announcements. People are contacting them before they even call them. When they do call some of them, they say, hey, I got your message. And they start scheduling times to plug them into these 2 coffee breaks, and the ones that don't fit that, they plug them into the other ones. Imagine that. How powerful is that when you can duplicate that process? See, when people say, Scott, how did you put 250,000 people on a team in 3 years in one country? It's by doing this exact same thing. How did you put over 300,000 people in 141 countries in less than 3 years? By doing this same type of thing. By doing things that create the efficiencies and increase the effectiveness of the time that you put into your business. That's it. Now, step number 4, learn the 4-step success system. Go ahead and read the documents. Approach people. I told you how to do that. Hey, I started a new coffee business. I'm excited. I'd love for you to try my coffee. Expose. Mix a cup of coffee, press play, watch the video. At the end, are you 1, 2, or 3? Validate. At the end, they say, hey, I want to do this, but I got some questions. Okay, let me get the answers for you. Use your team. Step 4, enroll. Go to the computer or fill out the application, enroll them in the business. The final one is 30 and 30. 30 shares in 30 days. That's the 5th and final point of Share the Coffee. Set a personal goal of at least 30 shares in the first 30 days. Now, what constitutes a share? A share is anybody off of your list that you personally share the coffee with. And then if you enroll somebody and you're helping them do a coffee break, anybody you help them do the coffee break with as well. So let's say that you contact 10 people and you actually share the coffee with 5 of them in the first 2 weeks personally. And I'm one of the people that join. So that's 5 shares. You do your 2 in-home coffee breaks that you're personally doing with the help of your team above you. And let's say that you have 10 more people. So there's 15. Well, you help me do my first coffee break and 10 people show up there for me. Well, there's 10 more that count for you as well because I'm in your line of sponsorship and you helped me do it. Now, if you weren't there, you don't get to count those 10. I get to count them as well, even though maybe you did the meeting. We both get to count them as long as it's in the line. And if you're participating, you get to count them. So set a goal of 30 and 30. 60 and 30 if you're a little more bold. If you have the ability, which not many people do, but some do, if you can go full time, set a goal for 90 or maybe even, I know it's a stretch, 120 in your first 30 days. So now you've just learned Share the Coffee and the 5 key steps that can help you to accelerate the pace of growth massively. And if you duplicate this to your team, you'll be amazed at what happens. And of course, the third point, teach others to do the same. Teach these 5 simple steps inside of step number 2 of the Coffee and Cash Plan. Simple, easy, fun. Drink the coffee, share the coffee, teach others to do the same. It's the Creating Greatness way. Look forward to seeing you soon. I look forward to your success. Have an awesome day. Take care.